changing my speedometer cable on my 77 truck. I got this at my local auto parts store, so that's pretty much your best bet to get it there. Both sides were the same as my stock cable. To the rear of the transmission, you'll see where the speedometer cable comes out of the transmission. That's where you get started first. I didn't show me unbolting the cable from the transmission. It's really easy. It's one bolt and you can clearly see it, and then you just unbolt it, take it out. Meanwhile, I'm just fishing it out from the bottom of the truck after I unbolted it. That's what I'm doing now. Pretty self-explanatory. It's not too hard. Alright, so next you'll have to take out your instrument cluster, or dashboard, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm pointing to the screws where you need to remove them so you can take off the beauty ring. I think there's like 6 or so. Not too hard. So take off the beauty ring first. Alright, so now that you have the beauty ring off, it's time for the actual dashboard. So those two knobs, your lights and your windshield wiper knobs, take those off. The windshield wiper knob will have a metal insert so you don't strip out the plastic. I just take that off with a little screwdriver. It's not very hard, but mine always comes out of the knob. And yes, my truck does need work. I have a lot of wires going up to the speakers on the roof. So if you don't have external gauges like a tachometer or a vacuum meter like I do right there, it's very easy to take off your beauty ring, but I was fishing mine around my extra gauges because I don't want to loosen my gauges. So right there I just unhooked the light bulb that illuminates the lights and the windshield wiper letters or words. So there's 4 screws to take out the dashboard cluster. There's 2 on the top on the sides, and then 2 on the bottom on the sides, or on the ends, not the sides. And I think I'm going to speed up the video. So all I'm doing now is removing my dashboard, instrument cluster, whatever you want to call it, and you got to get behind there and kind of pop off the speedometer cable. There's a little clip. Sometimes it comes off automatically. Sometimes you have to unclip it. It's fairly easy. You don't have to disconnect all the wires. There's a big like clip for that, or a plug. You don't have to disconnect it. Just kind of like push your instrument cluster off to the side, and yeah, I'm just looking to see what exactly I have to do to fish that thing out of there. So you unpop it. Alright, so after you have disconnected the speedometer cable from the back of the instrument cluster, go around to the engine compartment side and behind your brake booster, if you have a brake booster. If you don't, it's behind your master cylinder. You're gonna have a hole. Mine was plugged with a little piece of like a rubber grommet. So now you have the speedometer cable going into there. Fish the speedometer cable out as best you can. The plastic clip will also fit through that hole. It's really tight, but it'll fit. And especially when you're putting on the new one, it looks like it won't fit, but you're good. So there's really no easy way of doing this. I'm just going to speed up the video. So on your new cable, you have to put the gear from your old cable on. So there's a C-clip right there. I'll point to it in just a second. Take off that C-clip, take off the gear, and put that back on your new cable. And then after you do that, pretty much good to go. So now with your new cable, route the end with the gear back down towards your transmission, kind of how you got it out. And then I use zip ties where the zip ties already were. There was like 2 zip ties on it, one holding some wires, and the other one was just zip tied to the chassis. So do that just like you found it, and then put the other end in through that hole and connect it to the instrument cluster. I had to kind of twist my cable a little bit to get the end that plugged into the instrument cluster, just right. But after you do that, it's good to go. The problem I was having, it solved my problem. My speedometer was about 10 miles an hour off, and the needle was wiggling a lot. So now my needle's just wiggling a little bit, so I'll probably eventually